So today I want to talk about the new food pyramid that you've all been hearing so much about. So I want to compare this food pyramid to the previous two and see how they stack up. So this new one calls for 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per day, 3 servings of vegetables, 2 servings of fruit, 2 to 4 servings of whole grains, and some healthy fats. Added sugars and alcohol are not recommended. And obviously ultra-processed foods, fast food, not recommended. So, we have our rice and our whole grains down here at the bottom. These are simple carbohydrates. If you're trying to lose weight, you really don't need these in your diet. We have some pasta and some nuts and bananas. One banana has about 25 grams of sugar. So if you're trying to lose weight, you really don't want to eat that too often. And also grapes have a lot of sugar. Butter, I think grass-fed butter should be up higher on the list, but it's right here in the middle. Shrimp, I don't think shrimp should be on the list. We got some fatty fish and some grass-fed beef. Those are healthy. Looks like we have ground beef and some cheese. Now he's recommending dairy at the top of the list. I don't think I would do that. Dairy is very inflammatory to a lot of people. So I would use that sparingly. I would move that down to the bottom of the list. I would put it right about here, right under where the butter is. Oranges have a lot of sugar. Berries are a low glycemic food. Berries are always good, even if you're trying to lose weight. Looks like we have lettuce, carrots. Carrots are kind of starchy. A pear, tomato. I see a couple of cans in here. Now, if you have a choice, you always want to get fresh vegetables. If fresh is not available, your next best option is frozen. And cans would be my last option. So we have some poultry. We have whole milk. Now, if you are going to drink milk, you do want the full fat whole milk, but milk has a lot of sugars in it. You can use almond milk, coconut milk. Those are not always healthy either, but if you're lactose intolerant, I would recommend goat milk. Any species of animal can drink goat milk, little babies, any animal. If they usually give goat milk to rescue animals because of this. We have oil. I want to take a minute to talk about oils. You want to use unrefined, cold pressed, first press is even better, single sourced oils. Olive oil is great for salads, but you don't want to use it on high heat because it could turn rancid. You want to use coconut oil or avocado oil for that. But what's really best is grass-fed organic butter or beef tallow. That's what you really want to use. Now, I know a lot of restaurants talk about using beef tallow, but sometimes they put deodorizers in there and other chemicals, so you really want to be careful with the beef tallow that you buy the right one. You want to make sure that these come in glass bottles and that especially the oils are tinted. You don't want one that has a lot of different sources. If there are a lot of different sources on the back, you see that it's from Spain and some is from Italy. You have a mixture, you have a blend, and they might put some cheaper oils in there, try to sneak those in, and then charge you a premium price for it, and you don't want that. Eggs are really healthy. We go through 5 or 6 dozen eggs a week in my house. Nuts are healthy fat. A nice snack. Avocados. apples. Now, if you're going to eat apples and you're trying to lose weight, make sure you get the Granny Smith apple. It's lower in sugars. I also noticed they have some yogurt here. You have to be very careful with yogurt. Yogurt can be full of sugar. You don't want any added sugars. That doesn't make you feel very good. It gives you quick energy and then you burn out really fast and you don't feel good. Now let's compare this with the previous. This is MyPlate. This is what we had before. This looks really simple. I really like the way this looks, but there are a few problems with this. You know what the problem is? No healthy fats. Where are the healthy fats? You really need those healthy fats. Dairy, if you can. Some people do better on dairy than others. I don't really recommend. I don't eat a lot of dairy. And when I do, I use goat cheese most of the time. This orange pie for grains is way too big. You don't want to eat that many grains. It'll cause you to gain weight and have inflammation and brain fog. So I would take this out completely. Fruit, this pie piece is a little bit too big. If you're going to eat berries or lemons and limes, that would be okay. Vegetables, you want to have a good amount of vegetables during the day. I'd say, 3 or 4 servings. Protein, you want a size about as big as the palm of your hand. I don't eat a lot of protein, but there are people that thrive on carnivore diet. I've seen people lose a lot of weight and go off of their medications from carnivore diet. I've also seen people do that with a plant-based diet. So everyone's different. This is why my plan for all of my clients is individualized, because we have people that don't do very well on dairy. We have people that don't do very well on carnivore. So we have people that don't do very well on fasting because they have adrenal problems or thyroid problems or type 1 diabetes. So we try to tailor the plan to the individual person. Part of the MyPlate guidelines for kids. Now, I've heard people say that they were not a fan of MyPlate because there were calorie restrictions and the kids were still hungry at the schools. They tried to implement this at the schools. What I found is a lot of schools are buying stuff out of boxes and then reheating them. They're not cooking anymore for the kids. They're counting ketchup as a vegetable. This is what they were doing when I was in high school. I ate pizza and fries every day. That's what we had. There was no cooking. Now, when my mom went to school, they cooked every meal. Everything was home cooked. Here's the pyramid that was out before MyPlate. This is the one I grew up learning in school. This one will make you very ill. If you follow this, you will be very inflamed. The healthy fats are way at the top. Look how many grains. This is way too many. Way too many grains. Nobody should eat this many grains. The meat should be down here. And the dairy should be up here. They were recommending 6 to 11 servings of grains. These are simple carbohydrates. Your body burns them up really fast and they turn to sugar right after you eat them. Now your body can fuel off of sugar or fat. If you give it sugar, it's going to fuel off of sugar and store fat. But if you eliminate all the simple carbohydrates, you are forcing your body to burn fat. It's science. You're forcing it to burn fat. And you don't have to worry as much about portion sizes. If you eat the right foods, you can eat as much of it as you want. But that's the key, eating the right food, not fast food, processed food, food in a box. You want fresh vegetables, fresh fruit, grass-fed, grass-finished meats, and healthy oils, which I already talked about those. Now here, The vegetables, 3 to 5 servings a day. 2 to 4 servings of fruit. 2 to 3 servings of dairy. 8 glasses of water. Now, when it comes to water, I already made a video about this before. You want to take your body weight and divide it in half, and that's how many ounces of water you need per day. 2 to 3 servings of meat or beans, and use sparingly fats and oils. See, I don't, too inflammatory. I would never follow this. In fact, this would be better if you turned it upside down. It's got a few little exercises down here. If you do a high intensity exercise, you go as hard as you can for 10 minutes. That's all you need. If you do that, you will burn more fat than if you work out for an hour. Your body will continue to burn fat after you've stopped working out. So that's what you want to do. At least get a 20-minute walk in a day. So this one, but it is better. It is better than the first one. This one, now, this could be better. Like I said before, this could be better, but this is a great start. So if you want to learn more about my nutrition program, I do offer access to a lot of recipes that will help you reach your weight loss goals and your health and fitness goals. Check out my website, www.finishedwellhealthcoaching.com. You can go there. You can go to any of my socials, and there's always information on there. Join my mailing list. I send out a blog every Monday with some topic on health. Sometimes there's a recipe. Sometimes there are pictures, videos from events. So if you want that, I send it out every Monday. Sign up for that. On my YouTube channel, I have a playlist called Cooking on the Fly, where you can get video recipes and instructions. So if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know my goal is to empower you by helping you make informed choices. So check it out.